The Rotary's IT Fellowship, in collaboration with the Rotary Action Group for Community Economic Development, is taking proactive steps to address the global challenges presented by the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence and cybersecurity threats. These organizations are committed to empowering individuals, businesses, and communities to navigate the complexities of the AI-driven future and the growing cybersecurity risks. With a focus on education, capacity building, and ethical development, the Fellowship and RAGCED are working to solve the global crisis by leveraging their collective resources and expertise. Through comprehensive training programs, awareness campaigns, and strategic partnerships, Rotary's IT Fellowship is offering innovative courses in AI and cybersecurity. These courses are designed to equip individuals with the skills needed to thrive in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. By providing practical, accessible education to every community, the IT Fellowship ensures that students and professionals alike are prepared for the demands of the modern economy. Remember when computer viruses were mostly annoying inconveniences that made your computer play Macarena on repeat? Those were simpler times. These days, cyber criminals are basically the Lex Luthors of the internet, and they've swapped out the kryptonite for things like ransomware. Governments, businesses, healthcare institutions, no one is safe, and don't even get me started on phishing scams. And then there are the advanced persistent threats, or APTs, which is a very polite way of saying state-sponsored digital espionage. Imagine a world without electricity, running water, or functioning hospitals. Think about it. Energy grids, healthcare systems, financial institutions, these are the foundational pillars of modern society, and they're about as secure as a house of cards built on a bouncy castle. It's like we've decided to play digital Russian roulette with our entire society. Except the gun is connected to the internet, and instead of one bullet, it's full of ransomware and crippling debt. Remember the early days of the pandemic when we all awkwardly transitioned to remote work and relied heavily on Zoom calls that were frequently interrupted by someone's cat walking across their keyboard? Well, turns out that rapid digital shift was a bit like leaving all the doors unlocked in your house because you were too busy worrying about sourdough starter to notice. Companies scrambled to secure rapidly expanding infrastructures, often failing miserably in the process. It's the digital equivalent of finding out that your supposedly impenetrable fortress is actually built on top of a network of tunnels that anyone with a shovel and a YouTube tutorial can access. Remember when countries used to settle their differences with good old-fashioned warfare? Well, those days are far from over, but now there's a new player on the battlefield: cyber warfare. State-sponsored hackers are the new elite soldiers, and instead of guns and bombs, they're armed with lines of code and zero-day exploits. And the targets? Oh, you know, just the usual sensitive government data, election infrastructure, strategic industries. Basically anything that could destabilize a rival nation and make them look bad on the global stage. It's House of Cards meets Mr. Robot, and the stakes are terrifyingly real. So we've established that the cybersecurity landscape is basically a digital dumpster fire fueled by the tears of frustrated tech admins. But what's the solution? Well, it would be great if we had an army of highly skilled cybersecurity professionals ready to swoop in and save the day. But alas, the global cybersecurity workforce shortage is about as surprising as finding out that politicians can't be trusted. It's like trying to fight a hydra with a spork. You know what would be really helpful in the fight against global cyber threats? If the world could agree on some basic rules and regulations. But alas, trying to get nations to agree on a unified approach to cybersecurity is about as likely as getting a room full of toddlers to agree on a bedtime story. It's a fragmented mess out there, folks. Every country has its own cybersecurity framework, its own policies, and its own definition of what constitutes an act of cyber war. We need international cooperation, standardized regulations, and a shared understanding of the threats we face. Emerging technologies, the shiny new toys of the digital age. Artificial intelligence, quantum computing, they hold so much promise, so much potential for good. But like a toddler with a rocket launcher, they also have the potential to blow up in our faces in spectacularly unexpected ways. AI, for example, can be a powerful tool for good, helping us to improve defense mechanisms and detect threats before they even arise. But it's also a double-edged sword. Remember that time you accidentally posted an embarrassing photo of yourself online and then spent the next hour frantically trying to delete it before anyone you knew could see it? Well, imagine that feeling, but multiply it by a few million and add in the knowledge that your personally identifiable information is now being sold on the dark web. Data breaches are the digital equivalent of leaving your diary open in a public restroom. Except in this case, your diary contains all your personal information, your financial data, and probably a few embarrassing secrets that you'd rather not share with the entire internet. And with stricter data protection laws like GDPR, companies are facing hefty fines for breaches, which is great, but it doesn't really help you when your identity has been stolen and used to buy a yacht in the Cayman Islands. Now, let's talk about artificial intelligence and its impact on the job market. AI is transforming industries faster than you can say algorithmic bias, automating tasks left and right, and generally making us all wonder if we'll be replaced by robots in the near future. The truth is, AI isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's only going to become more prevalent in our lives, which means we need to start thinking about how we can coexist with these digital overlords. Colleagues, remember those old sci-fi movies where robots would rise up and enslave humanity? Well, it turns out the reality is a bit less dramatic, but no less unsettling. Instead of enslaving us, robots are content to simply take our jobs, leaving us to wander the wastelands in search of meaning and a decent Wi-Fi connection. Manufacturing, retail, customer service, transportation, no sector is safe. By 2025, an estimated 85 million jobs could be displaced by AI and automation. So we've established that AI is coming for our jobs, but here's the kicker. Even if you manage to avoid being replaced by a robot, you're still not off the hook. The rapid adoption of AI is creating a skills gap so vast it makes the Grand Canyon look like a pothole. By 2030, it's estimated that 14% of the global workforce will need to switch occupational categories due to automation. Remember when you were in school and you'd complain about having to learn algebra, arguing that you'd never use it in real life? Well, the students of today have a whole new set of anxieties to contend with, like trying to prepare for jobs that don't even exist yet in an economy that's being reshaped by forces they barely understand. We're failing to equip students with the skills they need to thrive in the AI-driven economy, and that's a recipe for disaster. We need to rethink our approach to education, focusing on skills like critical thinking, creativity, and adaptability. So we've got businesses clamoring to adopt AI, millions of jobs at risk of automation, and a growing skills gap that threatens to swallow us whole. The demand for AI talent is skyrocketing, with the global market for AI expected to reach a staggering $190 billion by 2025. But there's a problem. We don't have enough qualified people to fill all those AI-related jobs. Okay, so we've talked about all the jobs that AI is going to destroy, but what about the jobs it's going to create? Because believe it or not, amidst all the doom and gloom, there's actually a glimmer of hope. AI isn't just about replacing human workers, it's also about creating new opportunities that didn't even exist a decade ago. We're talking about jobs like AI engineers, machine learning engineers, data scientists, AI ethicists, the list goes on. So we've established that AI is changing the world of work, creating new jobs, and making certain skills more valuable than ever. But here's the problem. Our education systems and policy decisions are lagging behind. Universities and colleges are under immense pressure to update their curricula, but it's a slow and often painful process. We need to bridge the gap between education and the needs of the AI-driven economy. All right, let's cut to the chase. You want to future-proof your career and make yourself indispensable in the age of AI? Then you need to acquire some in-demand skills, and fast. The good news is that you don't need to be a coding prodigy or a mathematical genius to succeed in the AI-driven economy. But you do need to be willing to learn, adapt, and embrace new technologies. And don't forget about soft skills like communication, collaboration, and critical thinking. So there you have it, the global cybersecurity crisis and the AI-driven transformation of the job market. The future is here, and it's time to adapt or risk being left behind. The good news is that we have the power to shape the future we want. We can invest in education, promote innovation, and create a more equitable and sustainable world. The choice is ours. Look, I'm not saying that the future of cybersecurity and the job market is going to be a delightful stroll through a meadow filled with puppies and rainbows. In fact, it's probably going to be more like navigating a minefield while blindfolded and riding a unicycle. But here's the thing, we as humans are surprisingly adaptable creatures. The key is to stay informed, be proactive, and never underestimate the power of a well-placed firewall and maybe a good therapist. In a world where cyber threats and AI challenges are ever evolving, it is crucial for us to come together. Governments, corporations, and individuals must unite to create a robust defense mechanism. By fostering collaboration and innovation, we can turn these challenges into opportunities. Rotary's IT Fellowship and RAGCED are spearheading a global initiative to empower individuals, businesses, and communities to navigate the complexities of an AI-driven future and the growing cybersecurity risks. Through comprehensive training programs, awareness campaigns, and strategic partnerships, Rotary's IT Fellowship is offering innovative courses in AI and cybersecurity. These courses are designed to equip individuals with the skills needed to thrive in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. The AI training program covers practical skills in machine learning, data science, and automation, providing a strong foundation in Python programming, neural networks, and AI ethics. Meanwhile, the cybersecurity course focuses on threat detection, network security, and incident response, offering hands-on experience in real-world scenarios. By partnering with RAGCED, Rotary's IT Fellowship is ensuring that these educational programs are accessible to all communities alike, preparing students and professionals alike for the demands of the modern economy. Let's build a future where technology serves humanity and security is a shared responsibility. Together, we can overcome any obstacle and ensure a safer, more prosperous world for all. So, while the future may seem daunting, remember that organizations like Rotary's IT Fellowship and RAGCED are working tirelessly to ensure that we're not just surviving in this new digital era, but thriving.